All right, I just started to play around with AI and event modeling, and it really blows my mind how well that works. Let's build a simple model, and I can show you on the way how the integration looks like. So this is our bike rental system. We're modeling a simple bike rental system. So the first thing you can do with AI is you can simply provide the requirements here and let it give you the events here. So let's say I want to build a bike rental system. I need to be able to add bikes, rent them, and customers should be able to return them. Simple requirements. Use the AI to provide you with the roadmap for it, the storyline. So these are the events we use. That sounds good. We can simply now start with the first event here. Let's say we have this bike added event. The first thing I would ask a customer is, what is the information we store on this event? So let's say we have something like a bike ID, we have a model, we have a price. All we need, right? So we can make this a state change slice, which is a screen where an administrator could add a bike, for example. We could now draw the screen and stuff like that. All fine. But this is our first slice here. Now, as soon as a bike is added, the user should be able to rent it out over a web UI, for example. So we'd add another state change slice with this here. So let's just draw a simple screen here like this. We could show the bikes here like that, bike 1. And we could show something like this, bike 2. And for each bike, we'll add a rent button, something like this, just to display what is possible. And let's assume we would add the email address here, right? Something like the email address. The user needs to provide the email address. So this could be a very simple screen. Let's start with this. So this is our screen here. And of course, we display this information. Now, the user selects a bike and provides the email address. So we would have another command here, which says something like rent bike. And we only need the bike ID and the price, something like this. Of course, this would result in the bike rented here. So we have the bike ID here. What is missing here? We need to provide the fields for the screen like that. That's good. And we copy over the fields here. And that is also good. Now we have this third slice here. We can rent a bike. Pretty nice. Now let's say we do it like that. Let's say this is our requirement. Now what we can do is, let me use this. We can start to chat with the model and ask it questions. So for example, if you go to the details tab here, there's this new chat window that you can use. And here we can say, can I rent a bike twice? Then it says there are no rules defined. So yeah, maybe it is. Maybe you can rent a bike twice. It's not defined. But what happens if we add a rule here? Using this, we can say given a bike was added and given the bike was rented, when I try to rent this bike again, then this results in an error. Now let's provide a few example data here. So we could say with the bike ID of 1, we only provide the information that is relevant. So the bike ID, and given the bike ID with the ID of 1 was rented, when I try to rent the same bike again, this results in an error. Now, when I go back to the chat here and say, can I rent a bike twice? It says it will not be possible to rent a bike twice because there is a rule defined that prevents this. So the AI understands the model. What happens in the background is I have a vector store in browser. Everything is running in browser. Here I'm using the OpenAI integration, but you could as well jump here and say, I don't want to use OpenAI. I want to use my local AI. What happens is it will initialize a local AI, an LLM running in your browser, and you can run without any API key or anything and just play around with the whole integration. This is so amazing, and it unlocks so much potential because the AI has now access to your model system and knows your requirements, and you can really start discussing with your system, what does this mean? Isn't that amazing? I think it is.